That is something that really excites me, that Mumbai is poised for phenomenal growth in the coming decade or maybe 15 years from now. And it's a huge wave, I think, that a lot of people are going to ride. If they are smart about it, if they are developed, their companies, they will do phenomenally well. I still think the meat of the market is in the aspirational segment, because that is the India's middle class. And when India grows, its GDP is growing, and the majority of that money is going to be distributed down the line in that segment.
Chintan, thank you very much for being here today. Pleasure to have the opportunity to get your insights about the market. But let's talk about your organization first. Can you give an overview of what you guys are doing currently here in India?
Thank you, Gustavo. We as a Sheth Group are a 4-decade-old organization in real estate in Mumbai. We've been primarily focused on residential real estate, but we've also dabbled a little bit in commercial and retail as well. So that is something in terms of the kind of portfolio that we have done. We've built more than 25,000 homes in Mumbai city itself, and or about 4,000-5,000 more are on the way. So it's an organization which has been around for a while. It's a family business, and I'm the second generation, you can say, entrepreneur in this business. Very excited to be part of the real estate story of Mumbai now. And as I was telling you earlier, that is something that really excites me, that Mumbai is poised for phenomenal growth in the coming decade or maybe 15 years from now. And it's a huge wave, I think, that a lot of people are going to ride. If they are smart about it, if they are developed, their companies, their organizations are poised to handle that kind of change, they will do phenomenally well.
When you talk about the resi market, where do you see the best opportunities? In the high end, middle class, low end? Where is the best opportunities?
So traditionally, if you see, say pre-COVID, because pre-COVID, post-COVID has effectively become like an era change in terms of outlook here. See, traditionally pre-COVID, the affordable market or the affordable luxury aspirational market, let's call it that, was the largest growing segment across India for a long time, maybe a decade or so. But post-COVID, and this is something that, I don't know, partially people expected, but I'm telling you, most people were caught by surprise. The kind of boost or kind of growth that has come in the luxury and the aspirational luxury segment has been phenomenal, especially if you see in large metros like Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore. The luxury segment has gone really, really well. And it's been something that has changed the way a lot of developers have looked at it. And a lot of developers who are doing reasonably good work in luxury are now focusing very aggressively on the luxury segment. I personally feel that that is not the belly of, not the meat of the market yet. I still think the meat of the market is in the aspirational segment, because that is the India's middle class. And when India grows, its GDP is growing, and as the target set by the government of the next 5-7 years, the majority of that money is going to be distributed down the line in that segment. Obviously, the ultra HNIs, the HNIs are making a lot of money, and they will do what they will do. But that segment, the percentage of people buying in that category are far, far fewer than the much larger belt, which is the middle class. So Sheth as a group is always been focused consciously on the aspirational or the upwardly mobile, as we call it, a segment of the market.
What are the main challenges for you to perform well as a real estate developer for such a type of asset class? What's the challenge for you?
So primarily in real estate, especially in Mumbai, Mumbai is waterlogged city. So land is not freely available. And most of the free land that was available is either litigated or has some of the other issues, or was taken up for development a long time back. And little bit whatever's available today is so expensive that it doesn't make sense commercially many times. So acquisition of land is absolute challenge, or is the first big step that most people, many times are not able to cross easily. So entering any project or any land parcel at the right price is very important. In Mumbai, there are different avenues. Redevelopment of old properties is definitely one big avenue now. There's also SRA, which is the slum rehabilitation. These 2-3 different avenues combined is the way development of Mumbai is happening going forward. And most of the developers, whether it's a small developer, a mid-size, or a large public developer, are all doing that kind of work. So the first challenge is land acquisition. If you're able to focus on areas where you've done well, your micro markets, and able to handle that properly, then it is something for you to do well in and sort of get into that micro market and acquire land at the right price. Once you've done that, the second and the only challenge in Mumbai is approvals. These are two things. Because sales has never been a problem. If you are a developer with the right intention, sales was never the problem. Post-RERA, post a little bit of the consolidation and the slight structuring that has happened in real estate in Mumbai and in India, it's much easier. The customer trust in the brands which have done well in the past has only gone up. And that is why you see so much sales happening, and the listed and the larger players and the branded players are doing a lot more and capturing a much larger share of the market than the smaller guys. So sales is not the problem. Execution is not the problem. It is land acquisition and approval are the primary challenges that we face.
You lived in the US for a few years, were studying at Columbia, and then you worked there as well. Then you came back to India and you saw a lot of things happening in the market. And after so many years of experience being back here, what are the main lessons that you think or the main mistakes you saw happening in the market that you believe that hopefully the developers, the investors, the lenders will not make again? Is there anything that would come to your mind, something that we could say that will be lesson learned from past mistakes?
Oh, well, I have not personally made as many mistakes because I still have a lot of my journey to do. But I give you a brief journey, a brief of what I have done in the past or what I have learned or what I've experienced firsthand in real estate. I joined the company in 2010. Start of 2010. So it's been almost 15 and a half, 16 years now. Within 2.5 years of me joining, there was a lot of change that came in Mumbai's regulatory environment in terms of what development is going to be allowed and how FSI or FAR, as you call it, is going to be calculated. And a lot of things changed. The basic raw material currency of real estate went through a dramatic change. From then onwards, 2 years later, there was demonetization in India. There was GST, a completely new set of development control rules for the Mumbai region came. So we have actually just seen uncertainty after uncertainty after uncertainty. And what lesson we have learned, or I have personally seen, is that Mumbai real estate is a matter or is a game of patience. It always pays back. There is a huge scarcity of land. And once you have acquired any project or anything at the right price, you have to wait. So basically what it means is that your cash flows and your understanding of the financial closure of the project is very, very important. The numbers are high here, right? Like I was telling you, making one single standalone building in Mumbai versus making probably an entire colony or a large project in any other market in India is equivalent. So the cash flows required are very, very strong. So your cash flow planning has to be critical. And I think that is where most of the developers who've not done well or who've have tripped because their cash flow planning was not good enough. Every time, they're not disciplined enough to handle each project in its own silo. They use money from one to leverage to the next one, and they get an opportunity, they get excited and they jump for it. And a lot of their decisions sometimes were not backed by research, which is what we've changed completely. Like everything we do now is based on research, on understanding our customer, our market, not looking at what other developers are doing. For example, there is, somebody tells me, this so-and-so developer has picked up such a big land parcel in your area. What are you doing? Somebody else has done this, somebody else has done that. And looking at them like, see, if he's done such a big project, that means the market is good. And I should also jump in the same market. That's not how we play at all. We play on understanding our customer base. What is the absorption capacity of that micro market? Who's the target audience? What kind of run rate we're going to get in sales? How we're going to plan that? So we do a very structured approach. Basically, we do an approach of any large format business house would do, right? Any multinational company or any...
Not just following orders.
Yeah, exactly. Any corporation which is a big organization which has different departments, which has a lot of senior professionals working, but only work in this format. Well, they take a call after a lot of due diligence and not based on gut feeling and that kind of stuff. So I think that is something that is completely changed in Mumbai. And the delivery orientation, earlier you wouldn't be, people would not be worried about delivering the project on time or stuff like that. But now everybody's understood, I have to mandatorily, it's hygiene now. The product has to be good quality and it has to be delivered on time. So these few things are a great, it's a big encouragement for development oriented professionals like me. You prove your mettle by performing.
That's a major change. Yeah. Now, I can see you plan yourself very well, you're very organized, and that's how you lead the organization. Where you see yourself and the company in the next 5 years? If you could wish for something, what will be the future in the next 5 years?
I think the only real wish for any developer is sleepy capital. Long-term sleepy capital is the primary wish. But what I look for in terms of vision for next 5 years, like I was telling you earlier, I'm super excited about Mumbai. The kind of investment in infra the government has been doing over the past few years and the different avenues of development that have opened up in Mumbai and around Mumbai are phenomenal. And I've been telling on multiple forums and at different avenues, and when we discuss with other developer in our community as well, everybody's very excited that going forward, Mumbai is going to be doing very well. In 5 years, I am seeing at least a 10x fold in terms of the kind of work we're doing. Because I don't see, I mean, the dearth of capital is not there. The sales is not a problem because Mumbai is still, in terms of if you see the demand supply, I'm not talking about any micro market. I'm saying on average the demand supply, the overhang is hardly anything. A 2-year overhang or a 30-month overhang is nothing because to develop one single building takes about 36 to 40 months. If in the development cycle of one building, the overhang is going to get over, that means there is going to be a huge amount of mismatch in supply and demand. And constantly this mismatch is there. Add to that fabulous infra development, investment in rails, investment in road, in coastal road, in airports, across the board there is investment.
That's true.
So this investment, if you see in any other part of the world where there's been huge investment, for example, if you take Dubai, which has invested steadily over the last 20 years in infrastructure, right? Whether it was a good time, bad time, it didn't matter. The government was investing in infrastructure. Bang, bang, bang. And you see that. And then look at the story, how it unfolds. So real estate development just follows infra development. So we are very excited. And that's why I can say that we are going to be definitely growing at a very good pace.
Chintan, very inspiring and is in line with the way the GRI sees as well the country. I appreciate your time, your insights, and I look forward to welcoming you in many of our meetings. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much, Gustavo.